Successful Management Styles. Author Rajsekhar Polapragada. Chapter 2. Traditional Indian Management Techniques. After a week during our evening tea, Gordon asked me, why is that you Indians celebrate every small function with a big fanfare? Of course, he was referring to the foundation stone we laid for the administrative building, where everybody started breaking the coconut from almost in the morning till the lunchtime. And I said that is the way we Indians feel. We can involve all the people. Look at any festival, and the fervor or the enthusiasm with which all the people participate. It is not visible everywhere. For example, in the Ganesh pandals, right from youngsters to old people, they all participate in the puja, and they dance, and especially the final immersion of the Ganesh idol is a treat to watch, where thousands flock at Chowpatty in Bombay and to see off Ganesh and then to welcome back the next year. For centuries, Indians have used many methods, techniques to manage their temples, their festivals, their weddings, and till Muslims invaded India, the temple management and the temple economy they flourished a lot. In fact, the whole onslaught on Indian culture and Indian foreign invasion started with Ghajni Muhammad and Ghori, who attacked the famous Somanath temple in Gujarat. Apart from the history and politics, what I want to say is that the temple management has been an asset for Indian culture, and temples which acted as cultural hubs, economic centers where education, vocational training is important, and arts flourished. In fact, Westerners think the banks have existed from 16th century, but the temples were the big banks. You ask any of these Swaminarayan temples, they tell you the amount they collect, and then the culture and the sculpture which they display is mind-boggling. One of the examples is the recent temple in New York. So temple management is something which Indians have, are proud to have it. Then there is something called Indian wedding, the big fat Indian wedding. That's what BBC showed some series. And what is unique about the Indian wedding is that all the people who attend the meeting, attend the wedding, they participate in the wedding, and that's really unique about it. It's not they are visitors and they are all participants. Then we just now talked about festivals and melas, and where all the devotees or the participants, they show a lot of enthusiasm and fervor. The temple management, which we are talking about, the best part of temple management is acceptability. Everybody accepted the temples. Means there is no visible management, but it is run by the traditions. There is no single chain of command. There is multi chain of command, and there are some ad hoc decisions taken, but there are the lower levels depending on the rush and the day of the thing. Like, for example, timing based on the weather or things like that. But then otherwise the traditions are maintained, and also sometimes maybe Westerns would wonder. There is no accountability, that if something goes wrong and then you don't really blame people, uh, and the people take the full responsibility, and which is actually unique in temple management, that there is no accountability and full responsibility. The great example here is the Puri Jagannath temple, where you have a great chariot, and then the chariot is pulled by the devotees, and sometimes you feel that there is no management or no control, but then for all these years things were going on without any accident, and things will be go a precision, though it appears as if there is no planning, and I would call it a discrete management. The best part of temple management is no work and no responsibility, if you are not interested in doing it. Otherwise, full of work and full of responsibility. So then the temples, you can visit a temple of your choice, and there is no monolithic type of one god, and you have to do it. Otherwise, you got a blasphemy, or like in the Islam and other things. So we're not blaming any religion, but basically I'm trying to explain the Indian religion and Indian culture, where a father worships Shiva, and a son worships Ganesh, and the mother worships maybe Gauri or somebody, and then so each one has got a choice. Of course, like they are all in the family, even gods also got their own families. So there is no compulsory to donate. In spite of it, temples like Tirupati and all, they are one of the richest temples, and people throng to be in the queue, and then they donate to the temple. And temple management is really worth studying, and probably some of these universities, especially IIMs and all, can have a center where they can study the temple management. And you can see some of the slides of temple management in this. One more thing which I would like to share on temple management is the multi-chain of command. There is one chain of command looks after administration, called Dharmakarta, that is the one who is a doer. Dharma is I would say, the tradition, or the justice, or the truth, or whatever you call it. And Karta is the doer. Then there is another one, another group called Archakas and Pujaris. They are like our priests who carry out devotional activities as per this Agama Shastras, which are written thousands of years before. And the third one is based on the group of village elders, and who look at the several other things like the local talent and funds and other things. So, and then see how the people are involved, and then traditions are maintained. So these three groups are basically the independent groups, and they would together they run the temple management, and that involves results in a situation called multi-chain of command, which is not known in the West. And the multi-management Indian style, of course, it has got some weakness, that it can each one can pull in different directions. Other than that, in case of emergency, or in case of any disasters, this multi-chain of command works very well. The second one is called the Indian wedding model. For many Indians, wedding is a lifetime project. So they say in our language, they say build a house and perform a wedding, then come back and tell me that we'll accept that you are a successful man. So a successful man has to perform a wedding, and then he has to build a house. Normally in India, based on these economic and other considerations, building our own house normally takes just before the retirement, or maybe in the middle of the career. Same thing with the marriage of a daughter or son. You have to get married, and then have to have children, and children has to grow, and then they settle down. So it takes about 20-25 years down the lane after the marriage, where he can perform the wedding. So in both cases, he will have experience. successful